Hello, I am back with my third Darkest Dungeon modded class review. Today we're looking at a Musketeer Rework by O Nightmare. This sets the class apart from the Arbalist, notably giving her a stress heal instead of the healing, the bandages, whatever it's called. And I think this is a total improvement from the Arbalist. So the stats overall are pretty average. You have bottom HP at 38. You have average dodge at 25. You have speed of 6, which isn't very good. I like having high speed. 8 crit is about average, and it's pretty good, though. 8 to 15 damage is about average, but you get mark bonuses, so this is often higher. A little bit above average stun, a little bit below average blight, average bleed, way high debuff at 110. A little bit below average move, but we can fix that with a skill. 90 trap disarm is pretty good. You're not gonna be guaranteed to fix traps, but you're like the step right below that, so that's okay. And you have average disease resist, and you move 1/1. So these stats aren't too great. They're okay. But the thing is, these skills, almost all of them are actually good, which is really refreshing. You know, a lot of classes, like on the Arbalist, like Rallying Flare is pretty bullshit. Suppressing Fire is like okay. You use the shot, the heal, you use bolas to hit the front, and you use like blind fire. You know, there's not a lot of room for wiggling with skills, but here there's a lot. Starting with aim shot, this is just the same thing as the Arbalist. You know, you hit the back 3 rows. Sadly, you can't hit the front row. You have good accuracy, really good crit, and you do much better versus marked. You always have this. Solid shot. Buckshot is how you hit the front row. You do less damage as you go along through the row, so you do minus 50 in row 1, and it goes to minus 80 at row 3. It has really bad crit, and it does 20% armor piercing, which is respectable, I guess. I use this to hit row 1 when I need to, and then to finish off a bunch of crappy people, but I usually just use aim shot anyway. The armor piercing isn't actually as useful as you would think because of this thing, piercing round. Piercing round is a free action, and when you use it, you debuff yourself for minus 4 speed, which is actually quite bad. 6 stress on miss isn't bad because you don't miss with this chick. Because you're using 115 base accuracy aim shot and you have accuracy trinkets, so you're just not going to miss. And then you do more damage and you get 40% armor piercing, so this is really good against like a marked like fungal zombie or a marked bone defender or pelagic guardian. Because if you can kill them, you actually get this back. So every time you use this and you kill, you get it back. I tend to not really use this more than once. This is okay. I kind of just have this in case I need to really use something as high prot. I don't have a minus mark or a minus prot mark or something like that. Smokescreen sounds really, really good, but it's not as good in practice. What you do is you'll stun rows 2 and 3 with a really weak stun. This is 125. For reference, you have 140 on the Bounty Hunters, Uppercut, and 150 on the Flashbang. 150 is about top tier for base heroes. So this 125 is quite weak. What you also do is you'll stun them, you'll lower their speed, which is good. But then you'll stealth them while they're stunned, so you can't, unless you can break through stealth, you can't hit them while they're stunned. So this is really just to buy yourself time. You can't stun them and then get bonuses on, you can't use like finish him and get more damage on stunned. Which is a shame. I think the main thing holding this back though is that the stun is just really weak. I guess you could buff stun percentage, I tend not to, but you do you. Retreating shot is how you move back. It's a riposte, which is actually quite nice. It does decent damage too. So what it does is you hit random shot range, you hit somebody, and then every time you use the riposte, you go back 1. So if you get shuffled up to row 1 and you use this, you go back to row 2, then some dumbass will hit you and you're in row 3 and you know you're fine. It only lasts for 1 round though. So I guess you just have to continually use this if you're not hit, which I guess is a decent thing, because it actually does decent damage. It's a better skill than you would think it is. Embolden is cool. It's a stress heal and it buffs 4 speed and stun resist. Buffing 4 speed is nice, I guess. You don't want to have some guy have like 40 speed, because then he's going to go ahead of your healer and die. Stun resist is good. This is overall a nice thing. Clear stun as well. And you do have somewhat low speed, so if you're, I guess if someone gets faster than you get stunned, you could do it, but I don't usually take this. I don't believe this works on herself, is the main problem here. It has to be on an ally, which means you have to have a real stress. She can't stress heal herself, which means you need an actual stress healer to stress heal her, which defeats the purpose of using this. So this is like, okay. I will sometimes use this, but not all the time. Skeet Shot, it's the same thing. It's Rallying Flare, but it's actually worse, because Rallying Flare is only good on the fucking Swine God, and this can't even do that correctly. So this is just a shit ability. It does damage. You can mark the party, which that's not good. Crits received, I don't give a fuck. Like, just hit them. You already have 16 plus 9, 25% chance to crit with aim shot base. So you don't really need to make that 35. Like, just fucking hit them. You know, I would never use those. For camping skills, they're alright. Morbid Entertainment. This one's okay. Plus 4 stress on miss can be healed with herbs. Double, or not double, sorry, 150% healing done on crits total, not additional. So you're healing like 4 or 5, depending on the rounding. And then you get more critical chance if your stress is below 75, which is good. I never really have high stress, so this is decent. I tend to use those. Target practice, damage range skills. Make note of that, it's only range skills. So if you have a high ranged attack party, like if you have this and a hound, and I guess a bounty hunter who can use like the flashbangs and the marks, this would be pretty decent. 5 accuracy versus marked is not really that meaningful. I think 5 accuracy is cool, I guess, but I'm not going to use a just camping skill for that. I tend to have this, but I don't always use it. This is her like, you know, clean guns or whatever the fuck ability that what the Arbos has or the Highwayman has. It's okay. Accuracy, damage, crit, it's very good. So time cost 2 is actually quite good. In Rally, this is like a better Encourage. So all companions have 50% of minus 4 stress. She gets minus 12, and one other guy gets minus 12. So this is just better than Encourage. It's time cost 3 though, so you should make note of that. If I'm gonna run any of these, I'm gonna run Clean Musket. I'm gonna run Target Practice. Probably run Rally. I would probably run Encourage too. I would use all 4 of these, except if I know I need. If I'm gonna plan it. If I'm smart, I'm gonna plan how it works. Like all my stuff works before I set up my camp, and then I might take Encourage. So it's really a toss-up. I'd probably take this just because I sometimes forget. I don't really need extra crit all the time. For skills, I always have aim shot. I always have buckshot because I need to hit the front row reliably. I tend to run piercing round, and then I run retreating shot. This is just too weak. This is dog shit, and this just isn't as reliable. I think I have other people I'd want to be being a stress healer than this person who can do so much fucking damage. Now, the great thing about piercing round, the notable thing about piercing round, is it works almost perfectly with this Eastern Matchlock Sunward Trinket, which gives you 40% damage, minus 20 accuracy, and plus 15% accuracy on a friendly skill. Now, minus 20 accuracy is really awful, but free action friendly skill piercing round actually means you get this buff. So you're only at minus 5 accuracy, and then assuming you have trinkets and you have 115, it is a noticeable risk. You're probably going to be like 89% chance to hit, or like 84% chance to hit, which is usually worth taking. But sometimes, if I know I need to kill somebody, especially if you have 6 stress on miss, just don't want to deal with this. If I'm going to be trinketing her, the Fuseman, the cannon trophy is really good. You get speed, and then you get damage and crit. I'd take that. Accuracy, speed, accuracy, and damage is really what I would take. Yeah, there's just stuff like this. You can really boost the damage up. I'm just gonna find another thing here, like 11 to 20, and then you basically double that. So it's really good. It's really good with mark parties. I usually like to run her in position 3 as opposed to 4, just so I could use retreating shot if I need to. It sounds kind of weird, but like if I have one guy left in row 1, I'd actually rather use retreating shot than buckshot, because buckshot's just so fucking bad. Like it really does maybe 10 damage on the first guy. That's about it. I wouldn't really run buckshot like ever, except I need that. The sunward, sorry, the sun relic trinket here. Monster kill torch plus 15, and then when you kill somebody, you do 2 to 5 damage. This is not good. This is maybe good in endless mode when you're killing constant stuff, but two damage. You do 2 damage to some guy when you kill somebody else, like not worth it. Torch plus 15 is okay. I would maybe use this. Overall, though, this is actually a really strong class. The stats, maybe don't look as great as you would think, but it's so solid. This is just a really feels good class. I have no problems running this a lot of the time. Maybe I wouldn't run it in endless mode, especially because piercing round loses a lot of its coolness when you need to, like when you're in a continual battle, because you might not get that kill for a while, and then you're kind of out of a skill. If I was gonna run her in endless mode, I would probably honestly take the stress heal in case I need someone else to do it. Maybe smoke screen if I'm on like low level and people have shit stun resist, you know. But overall, this is a really strong class. Run it with mark parties. You need to run this in a mark party, otherwise the damage is just not good enough. 8 to 15 is incomparable to a highwayman. But when you can double your damage, it's just perfect. Run this with an Inquisitor. Run this with the Rescuer. A Rescuer can have Hurting Master, which gives Hurting Tactics, which is can hit all 4 rows at top level, mark chance. So you mark fucking everybody, and then you now have this. So this is just really good. Overall, I would totally suggest this. This is one of the best Musketeer reworks I've ever seen. So go check it out. It's by Nightmare. See you guys around.